Hello and welcome to our podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Katie.
And I'm Kelly.
Whoa. Wait. Hold on, guys.
What happened? What happened?
I'm Kelly.
I'm Katie.
They say.
I'm Katie.
No, I'm Kelly.
Okay, well, I'll be Gabrielle.
What happened?
And then I'm Nichole.
Shit. You guys, did we do it again? Did it happen
We
again?
did it again. It happened again. It happened again.
Well, here we
What's
are.
in a name?
You know what? It doesn't even matter. We're all witches here.
We're all
good.
witches.
Sure are.
Yeah.
All
We're gonna,
witchy women.
We're gonna like body hop. We're all gonna share. It's gonna be
That'd
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great.
Fun. I'd love to go back to California.
I love Washington. So
That'd be great.
let's do it.
All right.
Hey,
what do you guys
guys.
got for us?
Well, we're gonna continue spooky season. Gabrielle's gonna lead this one. I've done nothing to contribute. I'm just here.
She's an audience member today.
I'm just
You really are, Katie. I do nothing to contribute. I just show up.
Hey, you know what? Showing up is hard sometimes. So yay us. Katie
Yeah.
2.0.
Pat on the back.
Yeah, yay for us. Yeah, that's it. We're gonna keep the witchy talk going for spooky season. So, Gabs, what do you got for us?
Ooh, okay. Well, I'm Gabrielle Celeste, the younger Cancer born on June 22nd. Nicole's the OG. And this is a two-parter to, the Witchcraft spooky season collab that we have going on. So make sure to go listen to the part 1 on our show. And yeah, we're kind of picking up where we left off. So we're going to be, I don't know what we're labeling or what we're going to be titling these episodes yet. Nicole's kind of
Like spooky season. Spooky season.
types of witchcraft,
I don't know.
history of witchcraft.
Witchy women.
Yeah.
The history.
Yes.
Witchy women, a history.
Spooky season. Yes,
Her
love
story.
it. See, Katie, you contribute. We're good
There
at
we
this.
go.
No, yeah, we're great. We're solid.
She really is. She's the backbone of our podcast.
We'll call it
honestly.
Devil's Juice Day Drinking.
There we go. Now we're talking.
You guys, make sure to catch this on YouTube because you see all of the behind the scenes antics. So maybe kind of like, Hot Mess Express, but we got some good stuff going on.
Love it.
That's like my baseline.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Same.
It's not fun without it, right? I mean, who
No.
wants polished and pristine?
Not
No.
me.
No.
Apparently I don't.
No. The Katies do not. The Katies are like not down for that.
Mm-mm, no.
Mm-mm.
Gabrielle's, we'll do a little crowd control.
Yeah. We're good for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Gabby's always trying to reel me in.
No, yeah. She'll keep us in check for sure.
I have some strong opinions that I should keep my mouth shut sometimes.
Ooh. I'm here for it though. So today we'll be discussing, witchcraft in cultures, a little bit of related history, which has some crossover to the part 1. So Kelly and Katie, I might be hitting you up for the time frames because we do some skipping and time traveling with respect to what we're talking about. So yeah, go check that one out. And then we're also going to be covering the different types of witchcraft and different types of witches. So we're going to play a little game towards the end, you guys. Sansa
Ooh.
Stark voice. So
What do we win?
Ooh.
clout.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
All
Excellent.
right. All right.
bragging rights?
Yeah. But you know what, Katie, Kelly, I had to I was listening to you guys speak in the last one, and you guys were talking about certain witches like Circe and Hecate. Some people say Hecate, Hecate, depends on.
I just went with Hecate because I know the
Hecate,
beer.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh, it's
I
a
know
beer?
the beer.
here.
Yeah,
You mean-
right.
Tecate. Oh my God.
I mean, tomato,
Whatever.
tomato.
Tomato.
That's hilarious. I was like, I didn't know it was a beer. Tecate. Got it.
Yeah.
We're all going to be calling it that from now on out, okay?
Totally. We're gonna have to have one together when we come visit Seattle.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, is that going to be like our official witchy drink?
Yeah,
Hecate.
Yeah, it should.
It has to be.
We should create a beverage. We should create a Hecate beverage.
Hey, remember the
Yes.
Vanderpump Girls? They did Witches of WeHo, and they
Yep.
had their own like champagne or wine. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, so
Oh, I
down.
definitely remember that.
We need an alcohol brand. Yeah.
I've never watched it, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt and I binged it in like a month and a half. So,
Oh,
I mean,
that's dedication.
Is
it
the Bravo guy that leads that whole series? That's Andy Cohen, right?
Yeah.
I got a story about Andy Cohen, but
Oh,
well,
it's
hear
like,
it.
oh, okay. Well, without
Tell
naming
me.
names, one of our family members, Nichole, do you know the story?
Yeah, I know the story.
Okay. So without spending too much time on this, back in the day when they were in WeHo, West Hollywood, one of our family members found themselves at the bar, and they were just chatting up, this suave, good-looking younger dude that had just finished up his day of work at a popular bar. I forget the name now, but it's still there. It's on the corner. You
Abbey?
can't miss it.
That
Mhm.
corner.
The Abbey?
What? It's it's nearby the Abbey. Yeah, but
it's
it
not
wasn't the Abbey. And they were chatting like over 2 to 3 hour span. And so he looks over to our family member, Andy Cohen, and he's like, "So you ready?" And he's like, "Ready for what? Like, to head out and to do the thing." So,
Andy Cohen said that?
to our family member. So they go out and they do the thing. All night. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
All night.
And then the next day, Mr. Cohen gets picked up by a taxi. And our family member's like, "I didn't even get your name. Like, what's your name?" And he's like, "Oh, it's Andy." And it was kind of one of those exchanges, but in the gay scene, you come across.
Wait, he's gay?
Other. You didn't know? They came across each other over the span of years, and it literally took a hot second for our family member to realize that they
It
had
was Andy.
Hooked up with Andy Cohen.
Yeah.
Damn.
had sexual intercourse with Andy Cohen.
They
So
did
that is my
butt
Bravo
stuff.
story.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hopefully I didn't have a safe word. That's crazy.
They had one
Anyways.
Hecate of a night.
What happens when you drink that
A couple of
Hecate? That's
Yeah.
a good story, man. I love California because I feel like stories like that are just flying off the rails
Yeah.
everywhere you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's like
Yeah.
it's so depending on what part of LA you're in, it's like seeing like a celebrity C, B, or A lister is like whatever. Like you're just walking down the
Mhm.
street and you're just like, hey, it's the weirdest. It's weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, I
Wild.
bring up these witches because there's actually, you guys are astrologers. Like straight up, you guys know your astrology, and I'm
I
just so
mean,
impressed in your
we try.
episodes. You try.
Thanks.
And our Libra friend over here, Miss Kelly, you're gonna have a
Yes.
very big year in the next 18 months. So
That's I know. I'm actually like kind of worried about what's coming up because it seems like, well, I don't know. I don't even know.
yeah,
All
There's
good
just a
things.
lot of shit's going on.
All
yeah,
good things.
good things, yeah. And you can look to see where those witches fall in anyone's birth chart, but you can see where those witches are influencing their power in your respective life. So I would love to see where Cersei and Tecate, all due respect, fall in your charts.
Probably in every single house of every single sign, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Nice. So we're just going to be discussing the culture just to start to jump right into it. Culture of witchcraft. Don't really know where I'm going with it. We'll just go with it. But honestly, you guys, I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like the Celts, and now having listened to your guys' episode on ours and your recap on our podcast, the history of it going all the way back to biblical times was so new to me. And I was like, that's so fucking cool. But aside from that, I had always thought like, the Celts have a big role in all of this. And I almost kind of like attribute them to being like the OG witches. Would you say?
Yeah.
There's a lot of like origins in that
Yeah.
side of the world and in general.
Yeah. I would think like that culture kind of really started it off where they like branded it like, hey, we're going to do this. This is this holiday. This is what we're doing. This is what we're celebrating. This is how we're doing it. So like traditions, festivals, that definitely started with them. I'm sorry about my husband. I'm sure we can all hear him in the background.
I was already thinking, I'm totally just gonna like edit this for them, and I'll quiet out all of Matt's shenanigans.
We're gonna go with it. That's Matt.
We're just going to call it background music, guys.
Yeah.
Is Matt almost done?
Sound effects.
He wants to be a part of the show too.
Yeah, he's a
That's his
witch.
contribution.
He's a warlock.
Yeah.
Oh, a warlock and his witches. Love it.
So the Celts, Druids, and paganism all intertwined, all interrelated, and the deeply spiritual Celts. I hope I'm saying this correctly too. Like Celtic, Celts. Correct me if
Think
I'm
so.
wrong, ladies. Yeah,
Seltzers.
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Seltzers.
We all heard my
Love
pronunciation of anything in the last episode. So.
Yeah.
You know,
They're hard names.
But the guys always say, because sometimes they're pronouncing names, right? Ryan and Scott. And then they're like, you know what? I'm just going to go with it. And if I just go with it, you have to go with it too. So that's what I kept thinking about. Like, just keep going and it's fine.
Yeah.
Who's going to question it?
Yeah.
Probably,
one.
yeah. No one.
No
And if
Who's
they
gonna
do,
come
they're an
at four
asshole.
witches? No one.
Yeah. Yeah. Come at us.
Yeah. I dare you.
Yeah.
So the deeply spiritual Celts honored the quote divine creator of all nature unquote, and were said to have worshipped the one creative life source. And in our line of work, like life source, life force energy, it's very much like a commonly used term. So I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But the Celtic rites and rituals were supervised by the Druids. And the Druids had a few different roles. They were not just regarded as priests, they also held positions of judges, teachers, astrologers, healers, and ambassadors who passed from one tribe to another, like the traveling tribes back in the day, to help settle wars, conflicts, disputes of any nature. So I was like, all right,
They're
Druids
all
were the
Libras.
baddies.
That's it. Like, okay, that's it. We're done.
Mhm.
What's it like to be a Libra? I would love to know because I don't have much
Awful.
Libra in my.
It's off.
Terrible.
Is
Tell
it?
me.
Well, yeah.
I feel like it's a lot of self-sacrificing for the greater good.
Yeah, that makes
Mm.
sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, but we talk about it. My Aries moon gets me into fucking trouble a lot.
Oh, so you were born on a
Like,
full moon.
Push and pull. Oh, I don't know if I was born on a full moon, but the Aries moon, because that's my my
Yeah,
moon
but you're a
sign is
Libra sun,
Aries.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a opposition. It's close to full moon.
Oh god, dude, I get fucked up daily. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the world stuff. It's my own fault. I do it to myself.
It's not your fault. It's the sky's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blame it on
Yeah.
Sky Daddy.
And
Yeah.
And Katie,
Daddy.
just like I love Virgos too. I'm gonna marry a Virgo. Our dad's a Virgo. We're about those Virgos. Just as
Oh
much.
yeah.
Yeah. And Nichole, she attracts Libras in her life. Like Libras.
I
So
do.
this is the perfect
My
harmonious
bestie's
It
a
is.
Libra. Yeah.
setup.
A match
it is.
written in the stars, guys.
In podcast heaven.
Hey, we still have to do our dating show based off astrological calendars.
Yeah,
Kelly and
we're
I
gonna
have
have to employ you guys.
So I think I mentioned it
There's
to
actually
Gabby.
We gotta
Everyone
get Andy
show.
Cohen.
Andy.
Yeah.
Oh God. The stories that man probably
we,
has.
We might have an in with him.
Yeah, we might. Literally.
we should write a pitch for Netflix.
So-
Or written in the stars.
I think Gabby said that there was a dating show that was done like that.
Yeah. it's
Oh,
been
we need to bring
Oh.
it back. Rebrand.
rebrand. I don't know how well it did because I've worked with those astrologers in my training. Not they didn't train me, but I did one of their courses, the Astro Twins, plug unplug, where there's no monetary affiliation associated to them. But yeah, they have it on Amazon Prime, and I don't know if it got past one season, but it is fascinating, the compatibility
Yeah.
based on your stars.
Oh, interesting.
That could be a whole monthly series for February.
Ooh,
the month of love.
collab.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, we're
Okay.
doing it. So nature and seasons governed the Celts' religious years, and their beliefs grew into what became known as paganism, which gets a bad rap. Like, I've had this conversation with some of our family members, and we did grow up Catholic. We will say that, even though we are very much witches. I will own it. But yeah, it's like when you kind of hear it, and like when you hear about like Mary Magdalene and just any figure that hasn't really had the best picture depicted of them, it's not necessarily you getting like the most accurate information initially, unless you do like the homework. And I kind of feel this way about paganism after doing my research for this episode. So
Gabs, let me pause you real quick. Is your mic? Are you selected to mic? No. Check on the bottom.
You're muted now.
It says sure.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, I'm hearing background. I just didn't know if it was you because it's when you're talking, like where sometimes you can hear the other stuff. But okay, it's fine.
I think
Where did
it's
I leave
that.
off?
No, it sounds like the almost like the staticky that we hear when like our mics aren't connected. So
Okay.
I
Is
think
it
we're
okay?
fine.
Do I pick
Yeah.
up?
I got that. Hey, Kate.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, cool. So paganism gets a bad rap, and that's when the concoction, blending in of practices like making those lotions and potions and performing spells and
Mhm.
works of magic pretty much developed.
I purchased a fertility spell
Mhm.
box a few months ago when we were on this fertility journey of ours. And it was this thing it came with this symbol and you had this candle. It was this whole thing. And my husband comes in and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "That is some pagan shit right there." It didn't work because I'm still not pregnant. But, I was like,
Yet.
well, we're willing to do anything. We're willing to try anything here.
Yeah.
$20, I'll do it,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it does get a bad rap.
So that existed for some time, and then Christianity came in. So it's the old ways.
Heavy sigh.
Yeah.
Heavy sigh. You can get all of that information in the part 1 in term, and you ladies did a fantastic job. But it's sad. It's crazy.
Yada yada yada. Christianity came in, right, Kelly? Is that
Pretty much. Time travel.
And people died. The end.
Pretty much.
Anywho,
the Roman Empire expanded and it brought its own rituals and beliefs, and thereby the number of druids dwindled. With the birth of Christianity, old gods were banished and the new religion was imposed. And basically, old rituals, beliefs, and traditions carried on by the Celts and the Druids began to be handed down from generation to generation, mostly word of mouth. Pagans practicing this tradition in defiance of the church risked persecution and death. And we all know what kind of happened from that point.
We heard that.
And then we do some
Go
more
over to
time.
episode 1.
Yeah. We do some more time travel, and then the Inquisition and the witch hunts pretty much came in. And we did speak to this Pope in 1484, Pope Innocent VIII.
What an ironic name. I just love the irony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I'm like, damn, this guy sucked.
Like history is like,
no wonder
nobody saw him coming with that name, right?
no.
yeah,
That'd be great.
the Catholic
Hidden in plain
churches.
sight.
They're making up for some things that they did back in the day in 2020, as you heard in the first episode.
Yes.
Was it the National Day of Witches? What was
Yeah,
that?
like the National Don't Hunt Witches Day.
Yeah. Crazy.
Don't come for us, guys.
Yeah.
it's like you guys are just creating your holiday against the thing that you created. I don't understand, but cool.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he condemned the practice of witchcraft, and it wasn't until around the 18th century that witch hunts seemingly came to an end, at least on a mass scale, because they are still happening today. And witchcraft ceased to be a crime. Maybe in the United States, not really sure when that happened here, but it's still happening worldwide.
Yeah.
And then something else that I wanted to point out was that in 1954, Gerald Gardner, who I hadn't heard of before this research, he published what's called Witchcraft Today, and he advocated use of old pagan rituals and also introduced his own. So he was bringing back a lot of that verbal word of mouth, maybe some written context of these rituals related to paganism. And essentially, he created Wicca, what we know to be Wicca today.
Oh,
so,
cool.
yeah, so
Interesting.
it's fairly recent.
Yeah.
But it's all linked back to paganism, which is the use of high magic, use of plants and herbs and spells, which in our culture, I think of like a curandera. So like, that's like quite literally working with like the herbs and the plants of the earth and certain like oils. I think that's
like earth magic, right?
yeah, earth witch.
Yeah, the common mystics, their family, I think their mom or their grandma, like that's what they did. They were earth witches. They would do spells and things with like the plants and all of that, which is really fascinating. They have some really cool stories on their show.
That
Check
is
them out.
cool.
That is an art form on its own. The complexity of that, like the knowledge you have to have, it's really cool. And
Yeah. I'm like, here, eat an orange.
Kelly's like,
Cure your
vitamin
colds.
C.
There we go.
Yeah, thanks for my vitamin C today, Kelly.
There's some witchcraft in there.
There is.
Absolutely.
There's some good intentions in that drink.
Yeah, Kelly's just making sure I stay healthy.
I did a little Reiki on it. I got you, bro. I'm just going to give you a crazy vitamin C.
So the use of plants and herbs and spells and the involvement of just rites and customs, just again, this whole concoction, they basically found a way to manipulate each one of those essences of and whatever roles these oils, plants, and herbs were meant to do. And they manipulated them to have almost like their own power. And, we're able to use them to cure people, to invoke spells. So that's like some heavy witch shit. So
do you guys want to hear a cool witch story?
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute, have they heard it yet? But no, we're on your show. Okay, so your listeners haven't heard this yet.
Yes.
So I come from a line of witches, I think.
You do?
My great grandmother was a witch. And my grandma told me this story when she was little. She had like warts on her hand. And she went to her grandma, and her grandma's like, okay, go to wherever, go get me these different size rocks and just bring them over here. But you need this many in this size, whatever. So my grandma goes and she does what she's told. She brings them back, and then her grandma, my great grandma, like rubbed them, whatever, did her like witchy shit and said, okay, now go put these rocks in this bag and go throw it somewhere, like go hide it somewhere. But don't tell anybody that you're doing this. Whoever picks up the bag is going to get your warts. And so my grandma was like, okay. And so my grandma goes and tells her friend, oh, my grandma, she did this thing. And so I have to go do this. And her friend's like, that's not real. So her friend takes the bag, and the next morning my grandma's warts were gone. And her friend had warts the next day.
The next day?
Oh my God. Were her warts gone?
Yeah, my grandma's warts were gone. And so they said that people used to go to my great grandma for spells, like love spells. So if a man was, cheating on his wife and the wife found out about it, she would go to my great grandma and she would do these spells to make it so that the husband could never be with the mistress again. So like putting pictures or like, little strands of hair into jars and with like ants, just crazy kinds of stories. But
where was she located?
Here
in California,
in Oxnard,
downtown
California.
Los Angeles.
Oxnard, California.
Wow,
probably on Meta Street. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, locally. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
I just
That's
want to
really
clarify,
cool.
we are not those witches. That is so unethical now, but we do not do that.
But you know what? We could be if you fuck with us.
I mean,
no, not to you guys, but to
we need to have an alliance. We need to have
witches
unite.
Yeah, witches unite.
In case shit gets crazy, we got to know what we're doing. We got to know our game plan.
It's like you mess with one of us, like 4 are gonna come after you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my witchy story of just that kind of crazy type of magic or spells that was happening in the. Yeah, I mean, that would have been the 1900s. Not even because my grandma, like less than 100 years ago.
That's
awesome. So crazy that like people don't think it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this is a good little bridge to the different types of witchcraft. So we talked about Wicca, and most Wiccans believed in a horned-looking male god and a moon goddess. And the only thing Wiccans, they don't believe in both. Sorry. Okay, the only Wiccans who do not believe in both the goddess and the god are those who belong to the Dianic Wicca, which again I had never heard of prior to this research. I'd be curious if you guys had.
I have
But
not.
yeah, they only believe in the existence of one goddess, so they believe in the feminine archetype. They also, some Wiccans believe that the god and the goddess are equal. However, other Wiccans believe that the goddess is more important than the god. So that's
Damn right.
interesting.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Always.
I would agree.
So we also have Druidry. Say that 10 times fast. Druid.
Say it twice fast.
I can't. Druidry. Druidry.
You can't even say it once.
Yeah. Druidry comes from the legends of King Arthur, which has Celtic origins. Again, OG witches. Keeps coming back to that. And one of the clearest connections between Arthuriana, which I would assume is like King Arthur type of magic, and Druidry is the loyal Arthurian warband, which was a druidic group that uses the Arthurian symbolism as part of its environmental movement. So it looked like they had back in the day some greater reason for doing what they did, and that was to help heal the earth, which is what a lot of like herbalists today do. In fact, and people that focus on like earth magic, like earth witches. So it's important to note that there is no one set of beliefs that Druidry follows. So there is a large range of various beliefs, at least in the world of Druidry.
And Wiccans tend to be more earth witches. Is that what you were saying?
I feel like they're more sky witches because they're like paying attention to like the male and the god. If I had to label that, and I feel like the Druidry is more like earth and Gaia and plant witchery.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of witch have you said I am?
Well, we're gonna play a game.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I had something happen to me recently, and I was telling Gabby what happened. She's like, "Oh, you're like a whatever kind of witch." It was kind of crazy. So,
oh, what did I say? I don't remember.
Remember when I was in bed one day and I heard and felt a gust of wind like sweep by my legs, and I was like under the covers. I could hear it, I could feel it, and then you told me I was some kind of a witch.
Oh, I don't remember, but yeah.
Oh,
nope.
Demon.
No.
You were clearly having intercourse with Satan, and we need to do the drowning test on you, the swimming test, the float test. What was it? The water test.
I'm gonna you guys. I have I'm very well endowed on top, so I'm gonna float.
At least part of you will float.
So I'm definitely gonna.
What does it mean if only your titties float? Are you half?
Oh, I don't know. Let's find out.
He's floating too.
Kelly's, you definitely would float.
Nichole, next time we're showing up with a drink in hand.
I know. I wonder when I can drink again. I've been off the booze for a while.
That's good.
No, not by choice. I'm waiting. One would be nice. And all it takes is one.
Same.
So I didn't know that there are different types or branches, subsections, whatever word you want to use, of paganism. But have you guys heard of polytheism?
Yeah, like
I've heard that word before.
Apparently,
Did we talk about that on our magic episode, Kelly?
I don't know if we talked about that one in particular. I just thought that meant like multiple deities.
Yeah.
Around.
So these next like areas of paganism are going to move fairly quick, but polytheism, it's where pagan religions recognize several divine beings, as you just mentioned. However, they do not all believe that there is like an underlying connection amongst them.
Okay.
So I thought that was interesting. There's nature-based paganism, and that's where they believe in the divinity of nature, which they view as a form of the divine. And there's the sacred feminine, which I love, and they follow the feminine divine principle, which is identified as the goddess beside or in place of, which I like the way that this sounds, in place of the male divine principle as expressed in the Abrahamic God, which Don't know what that is, but I feel like there's a biblical connection because Abraham is greatly referenced in the Bible.
Sounds like the way it should be, is what I'm
Mhm.
hearing. The correct way.
And then there's Nordic paganism, and it's a polytheistic religion that worships a wide variety of gods and goddesses. And the most well-known are Thor, Odin,
Oh, he's hot.
Mhm.
He is.
Freyja, Frigg, Freyr, that's Freyr, Tyr, which is Tyr, Loki, which we know from
Yeah.
the movies,
Thor's brother, right?
like half brother,
Mhm. It's our nephew, our niece. What's Brianna's
dog's name or nephew?
Yeah, Loki nephew.
Yeah, she has a dog.
We have a nephew named Loki. A dog nephew.
A Neff dog.
Yeah.
And Heimdall, which is Heimdall. And I thought that was really cool because the origins of these well-known mythological figures have Nordic origins.
That is cool.
Mhm.
That's super cool.
I bet they got
So-
some weird stuff going on up there we just don't even know about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which also, I'm pretty sure you can find, I haven't looked them up because there's like thousands of different asteroids, but Thor and Loki, I'm sure would show up as asteroids. And then again, you can find them in your chart to see where they're at.
Yeah, see? I knew it. Some weird shit up there.
So, ladies, we're going to play a game, but first we have to go through all of them to see which type of witch you are. How
Okay.
does that sound?
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Excellent.
So we already know that we're all witches because we played we did Katie's quiz.
Yeah.
In the first one, so we know we're witches, right?
Yes.
So we're all witches. So
Yeah, we're-
check. So now we're gonna figure out which one. Oh, I'm excited.
So I want to know that you can have multiple versions of like these different types of witches, those applying to your DNA, those history, that which you resonate with. And I know we're not on this topic. This is a completely different area, but like same applies to different types of aliens. So you can be more than one type of alien. And it shows up in your chart.
Wow.
Interesting.
Oh,
Do I
Well, I
need a
guess
piece
that
of
makes
paper?
sense.
This seems really involved.
You know?
I
What
don't
kind of
think
test are we
so.
taking?
I feel like we'll
do we
just,
need
like,
a number 2 pencil and a scan phone? What's going on?
I feel like we're going to go through each one of them. And
Okay.
without sharing which you think you
Oh.
are,
Okay.
you're going to describe. So like Kelly, you're going to be like, okay, Nichole, Katie, I think you're this kind of witch. Same goes for
Oh.
Katie to Kelly and Nicole to Kelly and Katie.
Okay.
And then at the end, we'll be like, each of us individually, I don't think I'm going to participate. Maybe I will. I don't know yet. Each of us individually will be like, yeah, I actually feel like I am that, or I do not feel like I am that type of witch. How's that sound?
Okay.
Perfect.
This
It's
does
really
sound.
easy.
Yeah, I'm taking notes because this sounds.
I
like
know.
it's
I
gonna
was
be a
like,
lot.
wait.
All right.
So I am. What am I doing?
I mean,
again?
She's had a couple
Kelly,
tecates.
Kelly looks like she's struggling right now.
I
Kelly's hitting the chicates hard, guys. Okay.
Thanks-
I'm getting my
thanks a
notes
lot,
app
Matt.
out here.
I think Matt sabotaged this. He's like, I'm tired of all these women in my house. How do we like speed this up?
know. Let's spice it up a little
Little
bit.
does he know, alcohol makes it take longer.
He did it to himself.
You did. You did.
Are we ready, ladies?
Yes.
Okay, so there is a traditional, also known as a folk witch. A
Folk?
traditional Folk, yeah.
Oh, folk. Okay.
What did you think I said? Folk?
I thought I heard folk like FALK. So I wasn't. I just
I
wasn't
think
sure.
it's probably pronounced it that way, but it's
Okay, so-
FOLK.
Okay.
It's not FUCK. No, that's kind of what came to mind.
We might want to change it.
Okay, so a traditional witch typically practices the folk magic of his or her ancestors or of the people in the nearby geographic area. Often they take a historical approach, so they're using the magical practices and beliefs that were around long before Wicca existed. And they may have had an access to a wealth of information about spells, charms, talismans, and herbal brews that date back to centuries.
Okay.
You will find that those who practice this type of witchcraft are usually pretty knowledgeable about the spirits of the land and place in the area that they live in, as well as the customs and the folklore of their region. And many traditional witches use a blend of old spells and practices combined with modern tools and ideas. So I'm like,
Okay,
oh,
I'm
maybe
writing
if
this
they
all
use
down.
Yeah, maybe if they use like a pendulum, or if they just knew like,
Oh, I
hey,
love
like
pendulums.
Indians lived here. So that's kind of, I'm just like, this is like a historical witch. Like, I don't
Okay.
know, librarian type of. Yeah.
Old hag.
So, oh, you know what? I wonder if you guys even resonate with like a past life version of yourself. That'd be cool. Anyways, so there's a hedge or a green witch, or also known as an herbal witch. And the hedge witch usually practiced alone, and they had a
That's
very
me.
magical
No, don't give the
day-to-day.
answer. We gotta guess.
They lived a magical day-to-day life. They just performed simple domestic actions that were infused with just magical ideas and intentions. And these practices were sometimes referred to as greencraft, which I'd also never heard of, and are highly influenced by rural customs and folk magic. And very similar to kitchen witchcraft, hedge witchery focuses on the hearth and home as the center of magical activity. And a place where a hedge witch lives is designated as the sacred space. So their environment, their home space, is very sacred, for lack of a better word, another word. Unlike kitchen magic, however, the focus of the hedge witch witchcraft is on the interaction with the natural world. And that often requires them to step outside of just the kitchen.
Did Matt just pull out a blender?
Yeah.
Talking about kitchen magic.
Kitchen
Yeah.
witch. Kitchen witch.
Yes.
Is he making
the kitchen witch?
I don't know. They're like, did Matt just pull out a blender?
I did. I took it outside so I didn't disrupt the podcast.
Oh, he took it outside, so he didn't disrupt.
kitchen witch?
He's a kitchen witch.
They're calling you a kitchen witch now.
I think we
I
have
might
to
be
keep
half
this
witch.
in.
At least I'm married to one.
That's fair.
Oh my god,
Oh my god.
that's
funny.
hilarious. Okay.
That's so funny. What good timing.
I was like, perfect. Yeah, perfect timing. She's talking about a kitchen witch, and I was like, is that a blender? Okay.
So, a hedge witch typically spends time working on herbal magic and might cultivate related skills in herbal knowledge or aromatherapy. So, all my essential oil girlies out
Love
there.
essential oils.
Don't give away the answers.
No, I don't think I'm one of those. I just love essential oils.
Okay. A hedge witch doesn't just have jars of plants. He or she, because men can be brujos también. She probably grew,
As we've seen.
Just
right now.
Matt. He or she probably grew or gathered them themselves, harvested them, and hung them up to dry. And finally, a hedge witch most likely has experimented with them to see how useful they are and kept track of results for future reference.
Okay.
Okay. This one I think is going to be, I think this one might apply to all of us, you guys. Eclectic witch. Have you guys heard of that?
Sounds
No.
right. No. Yeah.
So an eclectic witchcraft is an all-purpose term applied to witchcraft traditions that don't necessarily fit into a specific category, often because they are a blend of magical beliefs and practices from different areas, religions, etc. Eclectic witches might use a combination of historical sources, information read online, maybe some knowledge from a class that they took, as well as their own personal experience, all rolled into one form in a single practical method of performing rituals and spells. It's kind of like a concoction. And in some cases, the word eclectic is used to distinguish a modified magical tradition from its original form, or to differentiate an uninitiated person who is practicing their own version of otherwise oath-bound material.
Okay.
We have a kitchen witch because I felt like we had to go over that based off of the hedge witch description. And a kitchen witchcraft is a new name applied to an old set of customs. So if the kitchen is the heart of every home, it's the perfect place to make some magic, wouldn't you say? In kitchen witchcraft, meal prep becomes a magical activity. So you're infusing, like you're almost like coding your food to make it work for you in a certain way. A kitchen witch might have a stovetop or a countertop altar, and they are probably fresh herbs, which includes probably fresh herbs in jars and pots, as well as magical practices that are incorporated into their recipes and their cooking. When you take the time to prepare a meal from scratch, it helps to make it like a sacred act, and your family will appreciate the work and the energy that you're infusing into the meal. And one thing that I think is really cool about kitchen witchcraft is that like if you change the way you see food prep and also like how you're eating it, you can craft basically practical magic at your stove, in your oven, and on the cutting board. It's kind of like the modern day witch, honestly.
Is that all of them?
I have two more. I'll make it quick, ladies, promise. We have the ceremonial witch, and in ceremonial witchcraft, the practitioner often uses specific rituals and invocations to call upon the spiritual world. Say that again 10 times fast. It uses a blend of older occult teachings like, have you guys heard of this? The Thelema? Kabbalah?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I've heard of that.
And Enochian magic. It's spelled Enochian. Yeah. So basically information about this specific type of ceremonial magic seems to be limited, and this is honestly due in part to secrecy. So that really hasn't been passed on to those that haven't been like initiated. So in fact, many people who practice ceremonial witchcraft don't necessarily identify with the word witch at all. So it's like those people that don't necessarally know that they're witches, but they're actually witches without
It's like when you're like, am I in a cult or am I not? Like, like I don't know.
This one reminded me of like shamans, to be perfectly honest. And I don't know why. I remember writing that down, but I was like, oh, this could be like a shaman. Yeah. And then the final one, hereditary witch. So there are a number of hereditary witchcraft traditions of witchcraft, but by hereditary, we don't mean that the practices and customs are biologically inherited. These are basically typical small familial traditions in which beliefs, rituals, and other knowledge is handed down from one generation to the next, sometimes from mother to daughter, father to son, and outsiders are rarely included, even those who marry into the family. It's hard to guess how many hereditary witches there are, but the information is generally kept with the family and not shared with the general public. Again, this is family tradition based on practices and beliefs rather than any documentable genetic link.
Okay.
So, ladies, who wants to go first? Kelly.
Well, yeah, we all know what Matt is, so.
Kitchen witch.
Yes, out of the bag. He's been a kitchen witch this whole episode, too. Like, banging pots and pans.
I know.
What is he doing in there?
I think he's making us food, which is so sweet. He's just like, those girls are working hard. I'm going to make them food.
I'm going to feed them. I'm going to get them drunk and feed them.
Or they turn into witches.
So Matt's a kitchen witch. Okay.
Matt's a kitchen witch. I think we're all eclectic witches.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I can't, although I like the folk traditional witch historical process acts, the wealth of information, knowledge. I like that idea because I think that ultimately in our core, we all have like the knowledge of being a witch and what that means and what that comes with. So I think we're probably a mix of the folk tradition and eclectic.
Yeah,
I think we all are. I mean, Nichole, I guess I don't know you enough to be like, oh, she's a green witch for sure. Woo, watch out.
I wrote what I'm definitely not, and I'll tell you guys that. Well, Katie, you go ahead.
For Kelly, I think that like actually for both of you, because Nichole, you had talked about buying your kit for your fertility kit. So that stuck out to me because the green herbal / hedge witch experiments with different herbal remedies and different practices and then keeps track on whether or not they worked. So you did do that. And,
Mm-hmm.
Talked about magical ideas and intentions. And Kelly, you really do a lot with like intention work and manifestation work. So that really stood out to me. But I do think that, we kind of all fit into the eclectic because I think we probably take a little bit from each category. But those two really stood out to me. But I don't know.
So I said a little bit different. Katie, I said you're an eclectic witch. And I didn't even go based on that stuff. I was just like, she's like a nurse and a bartender all in one. I was like, she's like a jack of all trades. So I said eclectic for Katie. For Kelly, I said traditional because it was talking a lot about like history and all that. And like that's your shit, right? Like you love the research and all the knowledge. And so I was like, well, maybe she's more like traditional in that way. Gabby, I said you were either first I said hedge and then kitchen, because right, like your home is your sanctuary, like you don't want to be anywhere else other than home. Like I feel like that's very much like you, like practicing alone. And then for me, I had said either like eclectic or ceremonial. I said I'm definitely not a kitchen witch because I don't like to meal prep. I don't like to cook. Like keep me out of the kitchen. That is like not my thing. So that's what I got for you guys.
I love
I think that's a great. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think we are, Gabs?
Yeah, I'm on the spot. I wasn't prepared. Okay.
You got to participate too.
Okay, so definitely think we all fall into the eclectic category. I feel like Kelly, I feel like you're going to come into the hereditary because I think you're going to go
Who wants in that inner circle?
Yeah, because just knowing your Aries moon, Libra sun, I was like, oh, she's going on a journey, honey. So
fuck me up, man.
So I was like, I think this is gonna deal with some ancestral past life stuff. So I think that's what is coming your way. Katie, okay, so eclectic for all, I said that. I don't want to be wrong, but I'm kind of like maybe ceremonial. Like I feel like that's like one of the past lives that might be coming up for you. And I'm like, okay, she's going to dig into this. I'm not sure if you're like into readings or have had readings if that's come up, but I'd be really curious to see what's in your Akashic records just for that reason alone.
Kelly and I have talked about doing that.
The records? We know a bomb reader. We know bomb readers, I should say. So we can put you in touch with whoever would help you get what you're looking for. And then for Nichole, still eclectic. I'm going through my notes. Only because I know that Nichole is going to be doing some really bomb healings in the near future. So this was all very predictive, guys. This feels in line with what like I would do with astrology. I feel like the ceremonial for sure, hereditary, but then whatever it's going to deal with, like you quite literally like working with like healing energy involving like Reiki, like, so I don't know which one that would apply to. That's gonna be you for sure.
So eclectic. I'm going to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, eclectic. Yeah.
That's cool.
Would you guys agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Yeah, I think so. She's really spreading her wings.
Yay.
We're watching her grow.
Like a beautiful butterfly.
So that's what I got for you, ladies. This was so fun.
Thank you.
So fun.
That's so fun.
Yes. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us, ladies.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
we
letting us
really
crash
do.
your show.
Yeah, that was great. We should do it again.
Yeah, what did we decide?
That was a lot of fun.
We're going to do matchmaking in February.
Yes.
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 We're gonna crash your Salem trip in October.
In October.
Me and my baby, if I have one.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna leave the baby behind. Like, sorry, baby, figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure out when we're gonna do Jerome too.
Yay.
Yes. What was the tour guide's name?
Barry.
Barry. Yeah. Jerome with Barry.
Man. Hey.
All right.
Beasley cannot come if he's gonna act that way.
Wait,
Beasley,
what
be a gentleman.
What kind of witch is Beasley?
Oh, fucking psycho witch. I don't know. Right, a destructive witch. I'm gonna open
is
the
he
door.
barking at?
I don't know. He just barks to bark. He's like,
Because he
"Hey, watch him
knows. He
bark."
feels left out.
Oh, there he goes.
Here we go. Hi, Beasley. Hi.
Wild
Okay.
man. Well, thanks guys for being here.
Thanks
yeah,
for
let's
having us.
So fun.
definitely do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that wraps it up, you guys.
And until next time, as always,
Have
have the day you deserve.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.